Bison Media Zone on WDAY Extra.
Welcome everybody to the season debut of the Bison Media Zone presented by Northwestern Mutual. We do it each and every Wednesday at 10:30 from now till March. Chatting football, basketball, anything Bison related. Jeff Kolpak joins us here for the initial one, and right out of the chute, we got some breaking news to share on some new uniforms. Kolpak, we did this on Hot Mic about 10 days ago when we got the first teaser video, and then today it officially unveiled of the all-white uniforms that North Dakota State will wear for its season opening home game against Southeast Missouri State in 2 weeks.
Here we go. I like it. It's 2025, Dom, and do something different. It still has a little element of the tradition with the shoulder striping, I think, and that goes back to what they've traditionally worn. They're still wearing the green helmet that they've worn, but like I said, I think it's a sharp look. It's a clean look. Kudos for them to do something different. And it's a Southeast Missouri team that, it's not a marquee game. So why not, pump up and do something else?
I look at it where if they had the white helmet, that would have been the best part about it, in my opinion. But obviously, Eric, read through that video. Jeff was so excited he lost his mic. That was the thing we were waiting for, Kolpak, was the white helmet part of it. We didn't get that. The Bison on the back, right above the number, is intriguing to me. The numbers, I will say, as a broadcaster, stand out, so I appreciate that part of it.
Well, do they? Out. They are gold. Yep. And poor Scott Miller, remember from 2004 at Northwestern State when they had the white jerseys
and the yellow numbers. That's the most response I've heard, by the way, is on the people are not thrilled about the numbers, how they look early on.
It's gold, though. it's part of their gold standard. I think it's their theme for the game.
For one time a year, I think that's A-okay. If they're going to do this, but Under Armour doesn't make helmets. That should be known, that they don't make football helmets. So if this...
Did you want the white helmet?
I did.
Yes.
I think a lot of people did. Yeah. Maybe there's somebody out there, a donor, that would pony up. It's about $100,000 for helmets.
White chrome.
Maybe that comes next year, but I'll be intrigued to see how they look. You wrote about this, and you've done the 1960s? It's the last time they were all white?
Well, yeah, look back. 1960, because we have access to newspapers from whenever. And I saw a photo of an NDSU running back up at UND, all white.
Wow.
And it looked like the white helmet. I know it's, the black and white photos are real grainy. Yep. I don't know if it was a light yellow or a white, but it certainly was an all-white uniform. And, by the way, I think they were 0-10 that year, so I hope that's not a precursor to what's going to happen on
All right,
for the
so
Bison.
For all the older generation, their eyes have rolled to the back of their heads with that discussion. We'll put that to rest, but that's coming in a couple weeks' time for Southeast Missouri State. We want to play, I call it the best of for yesterday. Tim Pollick had a season opening press conference. Before we play it, Kolpak,
he was on fire.
About a 15 out of 10 yesterday? Yeah. He was revved up and ready to go.
Well, and just the way he is, too, but I think he just had a little more energy to him for whatever reason. I think part of it is just it's a long road trip. He wants to keep the energy going. And in fall camp, I think after, 3-4 weeks, you just sort of go into the doldrums, and now it's like a refresh. Let's start, and I think that's the way he operates. He'll start out the press conference sometimes, and somebody like you or me or Mike will ask a question, and the volume gets going up and up and up and up, and pretty soon here we go.
The intensity certainly does that. You're going to hear from him about playing on the road, playing that early game. We had to talk about offensive line and a couple other young players. So here's the best of Pollick from yesterday.
Nathaniel Stalling, my anticipation, my expectation, while he's sitting up there watching tape right now, is for him to play better than any Mike linebacker that's ever played here before. And so that's exciting. We've done it before. Our process, our systems, our concepts, the way we teach, the way we practice sets those guys up if they trust that they've gone against good players here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If they trust iron sharpens iron. If they're not going to attack and dominate the butterflies and really trust the fact that we've coached them well, they've gone against good players here. This is kind of good on good football, this camp, and it's been really competitive. They got to trust those things is what I would say. There's something special, like I said before, about going on a road, especially with, what is it, guys? I don't know the numbers, but 8 or 9, 7, 8, 9 different new starters that are in the program that are sophomores or redshirt freshmen or juniors in some case. Hey, let's go get on a damn plane and let's get tight in a hotel. Let's see our parents for an hour and a half, but then it's EDN. Eliminate distractions now.
Offensive line, how did it play out throughout fall camp to where you decided on who was going to go?
Well, I think it's still playing out. I mean, I really do. Here's where I'm at now. I wonder how many of these guys could play 70 plays, and finish it out like the old can we run and finish it out on our terms in a 4-minute drill, or can they play in back-to-back 2-minute drills if we're behind? So Nate Tested will go at left guard, and then the rest of it you guys have written about and understand where we're at. I do think one thing that's occurred, Mangan was battling some stomach things a couple days. And so we were like, okay, you could practice for 1/3 of the practice. Well, heck, just let's put our best guy out there. And we moved Empey out there one day on the right side. And so he's a real formidable tackle option, and I don't care how tall he is. And so that kind of came about. Nate Schneckelhoff, Jack Lewinsky, my hat goes off to those two because it's kind of been an up and down road, but they have really had their best 10 days, the last 10. And so all of a sudden there's 7 or 8 guys you'd be curious about, how can this thing shake out? My goal is to get with Dylan and Dan, and I really want to see 7 guys play. 7 guys, maybe some different combinations in this first game. And then Ryan Babbitt's, it's interesting. We've had a couple of our freshmen get hurt here. And so, we've really struggled, with the look team, balancing that a little bit. And so Ryan hasn't quite got as many reps as I'd like to see him get, but he most certainly is physically ready. And if he gets into a double team, things move. If he gets on a guy and his hands are on him in pass pro, things move. And so I'm really hopeful we can provide some opportunity early in the year for Ryan to play. So then that we know we have a formidable guy to go beyond 4 games playing. Elijah Wayne's going to play. Okay, he's going to be on the plane. He's not going to get dressed up for nothing. This guy has a chance to be a pretty good player for us, and I think where we're at with, the number 4, the number 5 guy, that mix of D linemen and how many you need as you travel through the season, Elijah Wayne's going to play some. And I'm excited about it. I saw him, I had to go pick something up or drop something off with the administration, so I was making my way, and he's going to class, and he promised the president he was going to be one of the top scholars on campus, and he had a smile. I said, "You good? Do I got to call you?" He said, "Coach, I'm good. Me and Dad, it's what we've been talking about. I can't wait." And so that's exciting. Saturday morning, yeah, Dom, you're exactly right. We need to wake up with our hair done, our shirt tucked in, looking like a ball club, looking like, a team that means business, and wake up ready to win. That's really important.
Well, you better be ready with your hair done and your
What are you talking about?
your shirt tucked in.
And my microphone on?
And your microphone ready to go. There's a couple out of this I want to take. I went back, this is since 2010, because there's 2 true freshmen that he mentioned are going to play. I counted, and this isn't just the 4-game rule that's been around now for about 7 years, I want to say. These guys have played the whole lot. I counted 24 guys since 2010 that are true freshmen that played. Here are the names: Colton Hegel,
Yep.
Billy Turner, Grant Olson, Ryan Smith, Chase Morlock, Nick DeLuca, Brad Ambrosius, R.J. Urzendowski, Greg Menard, Robbie Grimsley, Cam Peterson, Bruce Anderson, Josh Hayes, Phoenix Sproles, James Kaiser, Kobe Johnson, Luke Wirtz, Griffin Crosa, Cam Miller, Gray Zabel, Cole Wisniewski. Those are dudes, Jeff. If they're playing,
Pretty good list of players there. Well, it tells you that I think they recruited pretty well with this class.
Yes.
If he thinks they're ready to go, I think Elijah Wayne's going to be.
I do too.
A much needed, guy for depth for sure, because that's a position that lost.
D tackle is pretty
with
thin.
Cody
there.
Heisman and the Mozarts are gone. They lost some players from last year. So to get a true freshman who's capable and physical enough to come in and play like Elijah Wayne apparently is, we'll find out. I think that's big. It's big for Jackson Dutenheffer. It's big for Keenan Wilson. They can't go all game, shouldn't go all game, especially in the first 2 games. Going to be humid.
Yep.
And it's not going to be as hot as it was once forecasted, but it's still probably going to be humid, and it's still the first game. So that's a big deal. And I think just don't look. Mikhail Ford is kind of coming
Another
on.
guy.
He's a safety
Another
out
Nebraska kid as
of
well.
Lincoln, and don't sleep on him because he's coming up too.
We've gone about 8 minutes. We haven't talked about quarterback, which is crazy. What are your expectations?
Well, we talked about so much. I
know, but now it's
February.
here. So give me your thought. At least game one. What do we see out of number 9 and Cole Payton?
Well, Cole Payton is, he's thrown 58 passes, completed 37. He's rushed for over 1,400 yards, 18 touchdowns. Not like this guy is such a rookie that he's untested. I think the big thing for him is just to settle in and not overdo it. I mean, we've seen him throw. And, don't try to be the hero throw of throwing it deep down the middle or right in the first play. Take some easy throws. Take what
like
the defense gives you. Get into it. Then maybe as the game goes on, you go deep over the middle or middle over the middle. And I think NDSU is going to do that. I don't think Dan Larson's it's his first go around here as the OC, offensive coordinator. But again, he's been around the block too. He's been an OC before. And so these guys are they're first timers in a way, but in a lot of ways they're not.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how they use his legs, because that was something Larson talked to me about on media day. It was like, if we do that, how much does that take away from his ability to be an all-around quarterback if you can't run him 15 times in a game?
Yeah, I thought something that really, you look at like Nick Mertens in 2009, I thought one thing that really hampered him is there wasn't really a quality backup behind him, and so they didn't run him. And Nick Mertens' strength was running.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a really good running quarterback, strong, fast, and all those things that Cole Payton is. And so I hope they don't take that away from Cole Payton's game, because you don't want to limit the guy. It really limited Nick, and I don't think he ever got in a groove that year.
All right, so it's the Citadel who the Bison are playing out of the Southern Conference, led by head coach Maurice Drayton, former Citadel player in their third year. They won 0 games. He told me we were the worst team in the FCS a couple years ago. They won 5 last year, and Drayton said he got the job. His old AD said, he told him, I want to play North Dakota State, which no one discouraged him out of that, and now they get the Bison to come to their place. I don't know if it's going to be similar to what we saw at East Tennessee State last year, where they were geared up and couldn't wait and scared the heck out of the Bison. I know it's going to be a great atmosphere for a football game, though.
And it's good for the city of Charleston. It's good for the school to bring an opponent like this in. And we'll see if they show up. We'll see if the hometown and the fans come out and really get behind their team like they did in Johnson City last year. Yeah. I don't know if this team has the athletes
I agree with that
East Tennessee State had last year. I don't think they do, but I guess we'll find out. But it's good. When talking to Maurice Drayton, the head coach, earlier this week, he said it's really big for this community, the president, everybody with the university, to see how NDSU does things. Yes. And we see that before a lot when non-conference opponents come up here.
Incarnate Word, remember, did that.
Yeah, they bring their president. They want to bring everybody up and say, okay, this is how it's done at the FCS level, and let's try to do what they do.
Emulate it, right? I don't know if they can. I'm really interested how this school gets its players. You wrote about this, that now it's opened up to the transfer portal world, which everybody is, but somewhat in the military world.
Very somewhat. Only for graduate transfers at this point. I mean, because the student body, the cadets are the cadets. And so when they come in, they're in the student body. You're not going to take a sophomore in and just throw them in with you got to go through your knob year. You got to go through all the freshman stuff that the military cadets do at the Citadel. But they'll take graduate transfers in, and they have a very good MBA program. They can go to night school. They can take online classes. So I think that took some getting into the alums to convince them to say, we got to have at least graduate transfers to come in. Yeah, they don't have to be in the military program, but they can take MBA classes or whatever graduate classes. And so I think that's something that Coach Drayton has done.
I would expect to see 3 quarterbacks on Saturday for the Citadel.
I don't know.
I think all 3 might play in this game.
I think it's got to be Quentin Hayes to start, don't you? Air Force transfer.
I would think, who's talking about transfer, he comes in from the Air Force Academy, who started 6 games last year. Cooper Tankersley is listed number 1 right now. Dustin Fletcher, their returning quarterback, got injured in the offseason as a waiter. He tripped and fell and broke his wrist, so he's out. So now there's 3 guys that have never played before for the Citadel. That's not a great, and they're starting running back Corey Ibrahim is out as well. Not a great scenario on offense.
Interesting note on the quarterback breaking his wrist, working. They don't have NIL. There's no collective.
Correct.
So these guys,
they got jobs, real jobs.
They need jobs during the year and during the summer to really help pay for their school.
Last thing before we break. we had it on the news last night. I know you're going to write about it. There's a new lineup of Bison specialists this year. There's going to be a new kicker and a new punter. Aaron Bickerton takes over the punting duties. This is not his first rodeo, Jeff. That has to be reminded. He kicked for 2 years at Howard. He was a Bison before he was a Bison, as he told me yesterday. And Eli Ozick, who we saw last year as kickoff duty and for extra long field goals, he's now got all the jobs there.
And again, just like Cole Payton, these guys aren't rookies. Aaron Bickerton's been around the block a little bit.
He was an all-conference punter at his previous stop.
And Eli Ozick has great, I think, distance.
Range on that.
He thinks he can hit a 60-yarder if it need be at the end of the first half or something.
Just try it once. I just want to see it once.
He told us that, yeah. What's the school record?
56 is the record. Ken
56?
Johnson has the record at 56. So
he wants that.
He got 54 last year when we were in Johnson City. He attempted 56 in that same game and missed. That is a weapon, but it's something that Pollick brought up, and we got to roll here to get to break. That Ozick's leg tired. We asked him about this yesterday, Ozick that is, on how that happened. He strengthened that, but his kickoffs every time, Jeff, were banging through the end zone. That didn't happen from like week 8 on for the rest of the season.
Well, I think it's similar. Ben LeCompte, remember back in 2015 when he was a punter and kicker, and it just got to be too much. Yeah, it just got to be too much.
And then Cam Peterson came in, and the rest is history. We come back, we'll look at the other big games going on around the Missouri Valley Football Conference. We got a bunch of them involving FBS teams. What that must be like. We'll chat about that when we come back on the Bison Media Zone on this Wednesday morning, right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Here as we wrap things up on the BMZ Colpack. We are week 1 writ large this weekend. Games of the week in the Valley. That one at the top left I'll save for later. Illinois State at Oklahoma. What a chance for Brock Spack to go and play Brent Venables' team to start 2025.
Oklahoma was 6-7 last year, and Brent Venables is 22-17 going into his 4th year. He's on the old hot seat. Yep, that's not good in Norman, Oklahoma.
Update out of Manhattan. K-State standout running back Dylan Edwards, who was hurt against Iowa State, is not going to play, according to Pete Thamel, against UND. I don't know how big a deal it is. Fighting Hawks announced yesterday Jerry Kaminsky is going to be the starting quarterback for them.
Well, but on the other side, you got Avery Johnson, and you got K-State coming off a loss. I know it was a long trip and everything, but Chris Kleiman, watching his press conference this week, he likes his team.
Yes.
I mean, he thinks he has a chance to be really good. So it's going to be a tough road for the Hawks.
Top right, Colpack, national television for South Dakota as they take on Iowa State. That Iowa State team looked good to me.
Yeah,
defensively, they look good.
Yes, this was not the Iowa State team of 2014 that the Bison went down and beat handily. And South Dakota's revamping their offensive line. They lost some dudes on defense.
They're a great question. I know you are on the Jacks is the great question. I'm on USD. How good are their depth and what they got out of the portal to replace the 3 All-Americans they lost on the offensive line?
Yeah, Aiden Bauman's a good quarterback, but nobody's a good quarterback if you have no blocking up front.
Charles Pierre's a great great running back / guy out of the backfield. I'm really interested to see how that game goes.
But they said they recruited well.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Travis Johansson told us that on Valley Media Day. Their depth it's like the Bison. It's unproven. I don't know how much we're going to find out in that game with Iowa State. And then the game top left there, 6 o'clock in Brookings Saturday night, Sac State, South Dakota State. I know you have a lot of questions on the Jackrabbits. It's not that I don't. I just don't think they're going to have an issue with I think they're going to handle Sacramento State.
Sacramento State's got a lot of guys they brought in from who knows where, too, and all these 4-stars.
And 50 transfers.
Yeah, I mean, this is the great FCS experiment. I'm talking about South Dakota State. Yeah. They lost so many guys. 16 are at Washington State. 2 are at Northwestern. 1's at Illinois. That doesn't include the seniors they lost from last year. And we don't know. This is unprecedented in FCS history on a good program. Now, if they are and play as well as they can, deserve the number 2 team after this weekend, then it's such a top-heavy subdivision. It's not even. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think we're already there. Even if they don't play well, the game next week for them when they go to Bozeman, that's when I think we find out about both teams. Because Montana State plays Oregon on Saturday. I don't know how much we're going to find out about Viggs' team either. On
they have a new quarterback and a transfer from Stanford. So And he's a proven runner,
Yep.
a decent thrower. So
It's a new era there.
Yeah.
Tommy Malotte's been the guy for 3.5 years with Montana State. Real quick before we go, because I've had this question. We asked Matt Larson this yesterday. I got an email. At Hector Airport, have seen at least 30 Bison fans heading east. See you in Charleston. So
Yeah.
it's Wednesday at 11
Wednesday.
o'clock,
Yeah.
Kolpak. The game's not till Saturday.
wow, people have vacation money because a lot of them are going to Charleston, coming back to Nashville, and
What's
all
your
points
number?
between.
What do you think? How many Bison fans?
I think
are
at
gonna be
least
there?
1,000. I
Okay.
do. I think it's at least 1,000.
All right.
Matt was thinking
1,500 is probably what the number there. A reminder, we'll be with you on Saturday morning, 10 a.m. for Bison Game Day. Jeff, myself, Sam, and Kyle, we're leading you right into kickoff, which is at 11 a.m. First time we're going to do that, so you'll be on the field getting warmed up with guys right behind you.
Hope to
which
have
would
a
be
cadet
fantastic.
with me. I want to have a cadet.
For the pickup?
Yes.
That would be fantastic. Join us then, everybody, 10 a.m. for the Bison Game Day, and then the game at 11 for NDSU and the Citadel, our 5th year of being the TV home of the Bison. We couldn't be more excited about that. Thanks so much for watching here on the BMZ on this Wednesday. For Jeff Kolpak, I'm Dom Izzo. We're back each and every Wednesday at 10:30. We'll see you on Saturday.